Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I'm going to share a flip through of the insert that I use for my daily journal, and I keep it inside this cover from Start Bay Notebooks, who unfortunately don't make these covers anymore. I have a few different inserts in here. And the one that I'm going to be sharing today is this one, and this is a Traveller's Company brand, and it's the Perpetual Diary Refill. I've been using this style of insert for quite a long time now and get on really well with it. I don't tend to use the first couple of pages. I probably ought to do some collaging or some decorative elements or something on top of those. But I absolutely love using these for my daily journal. And this is an undated diary. It's one of the other reasons I really like it, is because if I do fall behind or if I was unwell and wasn't able to complete my diary, I could go back and fill it in, or I can just change the dates on the next pages. So I have got some pages at the back of here that haven't been filled in yet. So as you can see, you've got your space to write in your month there and your days, but so it would be absolutely fine if you missed a couple of weeks. The tapes that I use and the images, and most of those are from London Gifties. And one of the things I really like about this journal is it holds up really nicely to watercolour and fountain pens. And I just tend to write about 5 lines in each of the boxes of the main things that have happened that day. And then at the weekend, I decorate the page on the right hand side and do a little recap on how the week has been as a whole. I often enjoy putting in either photos or other decorative elements, little tipping cards. So here I'd been on a walk around a place called Dartington Estate and taken some photos of the trees, and then used coloured fountain pen ink on this side for my writing. And I often keep the decorations quite simple. So here I use some pressed flower stickers, an image that I tore out of a book, and a little bit of stamping. The most important part for me is making sure that I've got plenty of space to write about everything that's going on in my life and in the world around me. And sometimes I'll pop in quotes. These are from my Patreon printables. And then I just use the space in the best way ever that I can. So if that means turning my page around, I'm fine with that. And actually, I really like it when text is in different directions. I think it's quite interesting. Again, I've put in some more photos here. I used the Brother colour label photo printer for these. And just a walk we went on, I think it was on a Sunday morning, and just was so taken by these that I really wanted to include some photos of that in my journal. And these I just used some stamps. I actually quite like, even now I'm looking back through and seeing that, yes, we went for a lovely walk that Sunday morning, then came back and watched the Women's World Cup final, and I just like having those little bits of information in there. Well, this weekend, 2 places that were local to us had some flower picking. One was just for sunflowers and one was wildflowers. And it was just really lovely to be able to do that. I think both places were within about a 10-minute drive of us, and not actually that many people around, and selecting some lovely flowers to bring home. And as soon as I see those photos, I'm instantly taken back, which is one of the reasons I like including photos so much in here. For this one, again, I've layered some London Gifties tapes. I did a bit of stenciling on the background. And here is from a place, this photo is from Fritterscombe Flower Farm. The lovely lady, Sophie, who runs it, allowed me to go up there and do some filming, which was for my last online class on Teachable that I shared. And just so lovely to go up there and be able to photograph and take videos of her beautiful flower farm. These were from some Patreon printables, and again we went on a really lovely walk. It's just one of my favourite things to do, and I love being able to take lots of photos when I'm out and about and just print off a couple of my favourites. I was just really taken by this bridge and the ivy kind of draping down in front of it, and then the reflections of the trees on the river. And this one I kept more simple. Perhaps if we haven't been out somewhere, or I can see there a rather soggy dog walk, so if the weather wasn't so good, then I tend to just do more collage, stamping and things like that in here. And occasionally if there's something big going on, I'll put that in bolder writing. So that's when I launched the course with the ones of the photos I've just shared. Again, just a little tipping card, which I really like. If I've got something extra that I want to write, or I want to add an extra photo, really handy to just use some washi tape and pop that on my pages. Again, just really simple collage with little quotes and some stickers in here. And this, we've got into October, and one of the beaches by us, it was beautiful morning, and we went there and there was hardly anybody around, so we were just able to take our dog Barney down onto the beach and just have a beautiful morning there. These sorts of places get really busy during the summer, so we feel really lucky to be able to go there when it's a lot quieter and just make the most of those sunny days. And this week we went away for a long weekend to a place called Westwood Ho, and I absolutely loved this photo I took of the sun coming up just over the top of the beach huts. And here they've got a Lido, or an outdoor swimming pool, set in amongst the rocks. So again, lovely just to have those photos in here. And again, just a few notes every day of the things that have been going on. This one I use a stamp, which is like a little bit like a postcard stamp, and just wrote some thoughts for the week. Be yourself, keep doing your best, keep learning and being kind to others, hold your head high. And here I realised I've spelt it wrong, but my daughter came home with her boyfriend for the weekend, which was lovely, and we took them out for breakfast on Sunday morning, and Miriam Margulies happened to be sitting on the table next to us. I don't believe she lives in our area, so that was certainly a surprise. And my daughter knows her best, of course, of being Professor Sprout in Harry Potter. And this week we went away on the Saturday for a week in a place called Alice Cottage on Exmoor. It's absolutely beautiful, this thatched cottage, and it was all themed around Alice in Wonderland in there. We were having some noisy work done on our house because of a plumbing issue, so we decided to just get away, and actually it was the first and only whole week that we took off, and we really enjoyed it. So definitely something we want to do a bit more of. And we took Barney, the little dog, with us, so got some photos of him out walking in the woods and a local harbour, and that felt really easy to keep up with whilst I was away, just having this space here. And then if I wanted to do more kind of detailed writing, more photos, leaflets, things like that, I could use another journal. So nice simple pages here, just having a bit of colour in the fountain pen ink, and again these images were cut from London Gifties tapes. Here I decided to do a little bit of watercolour. I'm not thrilled with how this came out, but again you can see absolutely nothing comes through on the other side. It does wrinkle the paper ever so slightly, but it flattens out quite nicely if it's kept in a cover or underneath something heavy. And this weekend I met up with one of my friends and we took little Barney out for a walk, and it was beautiful frosty morning. In fact, my friend Jo took these photos and sent them to me. I thought they were absolutely gorgeous, both of the sun coming through and the frosty grass and little Barney there. So just absolutely lovely having those in here. It feels like a real treasure to me. This one I just stuck with a kind of mushrooms theme, very autumnal, washi tape and just little bits of collage paper and things like that on here. And this was last week. And these were from my Patreon printables, and then I just did a little watercolour tree there, nice and quick, and just added some decorations using metallic gel pens on top. And this is how I then tend to set up for a new week. So I've layered some tapes on here. Again, these were from various Patreon printables across the years. So I've just put those down so I've got something to write around, and then when it gets to the weekend, that's when I'll start seeing whether I've got any other photos I want to add or how I want to decorate those pages. I've got a few weeks left in there. They tend to last just over 6 months, these inserts. They definitely last at least as long as 6 months, but I usually find that actually it lasts a little bit longer. But I just thought it might be a good time to share how I've been using this journal in case you're thinking of using something similar next year. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed seeing these pages. If you've got any questions, then please do just leave them down below. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. Well, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.